What's up, fight fans? Thank you once again for coming through. Much appreciated. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. How many days left? What are we? Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. We're talking, what, 3 and a bit days left to arguably the biggest fight for me as a boxing guy this year. We've had some good fights this year, to be fair. I think Vladimir Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua was a very, very big fight. Good numbers, pay-per-view wise, good numbers. Wembley Stadium. I think Ward Kovalev, the rematch, didn't turn out to be a very good fight in the end, but again, the hype surrounding it was a big fight. Number 2 pound for pound versus what, number 5 or 6 pound for pound. And this one, GGG versus Saul Alvarez. Forget Mayweather McGregor, don't you dare mention that, guys. And we've got others as well. There's loads of other good fights coming up and fights that have gone. So it's been a great year, I think, for boxing in its resurgence. I think boxing, and I was one of these people that were openly saying that boxing wasn't dead, but it was struggling. I think MMA, particularly UFC, had come in and taken over it. And I think come Sunday evening, I think boxing will be back where it belongs as the #1 combat sport in the world. By far, I think, by far. Now, I look at UFC and I feel like, look, we know John Jones has tested twice now positive for taking banned substances. He'll be out for 4, maybe 5 years. Ronda Rousey's obviously retired. Conor McGregor, I feel like Conor McGregor will almost be like a Floyd Mayweather. He won't fight more than twice a year, maybe. He likes that rich lifestyle, and I think he's going to get so many opportunities outside of the cage, we probably won't see him that much. So I think UFC might struggle in finding another superstar. Anyway, I'm going on a bit. Have I got it wrong? Have I got it wrong? Have I underestimated Canelo Alvarez too much? I said that Golovkin will knock him out when he wants to knock him out. If this goes late and deep, it's because Golovkin wants it to go late and deep. And if Golovkin kind of, if you like, puts the pedal to the metal, he can stop Canelo. You know what it is? I always like to make my prediction for a fight as soon as the fight's mentioned. As soon as the fight's mentioned, which is why I think I've done so well with predictions over the years. I say who's going to win based on their back catalogue, based on styles, based on everything. And I don't want to get tricked into the 24/7s, the behind the gloves, the promoters, who else is talking, trainers, blah, blah, blah. It can confuse you a bit. But I can't lie. I saw a poll on Boxing Scene was asking a few, I think 30 former fighters, current fighters, trainers, managers, promoters, who would win, Golovkin or Canelo. And I was shocked by the result. I mean, 19 people went for Canelo, 11 for Golovkin. And of the 19 that went for Canelo, I'd say 4 or 5 of them were like clear Canelo. Like, what? Easy, Canelo. A couple of them were saying it's a close point decision. A few of them will say Golovkin will stop him late. But 19. So my maths are really crap, but I'm sure that's about 65% of the vote went for Canelo. Remember, we're not talking about fans here. Fans is different because we're very biased. We're talking about boxing people. Said Canelo's got too much, he's too young, he's too fresh, and he'll stop Golovkin or beat Golovkin. Most of them have gone for points. Interesting, right? I'm still with the Golovkin win. I do think that, I don't know, I feel like Jacobs was just an off night. I think a lot of people are basing this Canelo thing on the fact of the Jacobs performance. I think Jacobs was an off night. I think Jacobs' style is completely different from Canelo's. And I think every single boxer is worth or deserves an off night. Every single boxer deserves an off night. And I think he had that off night. I think the Brook fight was just a Brook fight. He stopped Brook in the 5th round. I mean, forget how the fight went in the first couple of rounds. I think he just wanted a street fight. I think he knew Brook wasn't strong enough and he thought, why not? Let's have it. And stopped him. But then I do look at Canelo's performances against experienced guys. Lara, experienced. Trout, kind of experienced. Beat Miguel Cotto. Did Trout. He beat Cotto, again, another experienced fighter. Chavez Jr. almost showed him that he can go 12 rounds comfortably with that extra body weight. Chavez isn't really anyone really, to be honest, but he was able to kind of just weather whatever storm Chavez threw at him and counter and punch him, punching combinations. And I think him adding that extra weight, remember this fight was over 160 pounds, 164 pounds or something, He probably came into the ring about 175. So for him to be able to handle that extra weight will give him motivation. I think he'll look at the Mayweather performance and think, look what I was able to do to Floyd Mayweather. Even though I was a lot younger, even though I was weight drained, I still was able to put in a decent performance. It's an interesting fight. Honestly, I've gone back and forth in my mind. For years, I've said Golovkin. For weeks, I've said Golovkin. Up until days, I'm now saying Golovkin. And even we are 3 days out, I'm still saying Golovkin. But where it was an 80-20 Golovkin in my head, it's now moved a bit closer. And now it's more 70-30. Was it just an off night for Golovkin against Danny Jacobs? Or is there slippage? I've looked at Golovkin recently. I've watched a few of his fights. Rubio Gil, Lamoud, Curtis Stevens, even Rosado. And I don't know if it's because he's got this fantastic chin, but he does allow his opponents to hit him. He comes through, he doesn't bob his head, he just comes straight forward. It's almost like he knows he's got a granite chin. Remember, this is someone that's never been down in 375 or 300 and something like that amateur fights. 36 or 37 pro fights. So we're talking over 400 fights. Never been knocked down ever. So I think he's relying on that granite chin. That chin, although it's granite, it's starting to show signs of wear and tear. And I feel like Canelo could have the power to do something. If Golovkin, I think Golovkin's going to do this. I think Golovkin's going to fight exactly the way he fought against David Lemieux. Someone that, again, I think he feared could knock him out. And he was more cautious in that fight. He jabbed one in the fight, and I think it's going to do the same thing here. But, can't lie, with 3.5 days to go, I haven't changed my mind, but I think the fight's a lot closer than maybe I thought or I gave respect for in the beginning.